What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and here we are with Chromebook. It's been a moment, and I wanted to talk about applying a faux carbon fiber vinyl skin to the CX55 Chromebook. This unit is still available for purchase, and I want to kind of provide this content as an update on this device. So yes, again, faux carbon fiber vinyl skin. This one is by DecalRUS, and we're going to apply it today. So let's talk more about it. So yes, here we are with the faux carbon fiber vinyl skin that is going to go on the CX55 Chromebook. I want to talk about what you get here. So first, we're showing this portion here. This is going to be for the keyboard and display area. And then underneath that, we're going to have the areas for the lid or the outside. Now, what is missing from this kit would be a bottom portion. So if that's something that you're looking for, you're not going to find it in this kit. So to give you an idea, if we flip over here, this underside portion, this is going to be exposed. So just something to think about if you are looking for a complete kit. Again, you're not going to get it here. So I'm going to flip the CX55 over again. And we're probably going to start with the lid, but before we do so, I want to talk about some items that might help applying this faux carbon fiber vinyl skin a little bit easier. So to start off, first we're going to have this electronic air duster. It's battery powered, of course, and that's going to make things a little bit easier. You can blow off the whole unit, and that will get rid of small debris, maybe some lint, hair, anything like that, especially if you're like me and you have a dog who sheds a lot. That is a very critical item to have. It has helped me a lot, not only in applying these faux carbon fiber vinyls, but also display protectors, that kind of thing. And then after that, you might want to take a microfiber cloth and some glass cleaner, just wipe things off to make it a little bit easier. And also what might help if you're like me and you have sweaty hands, or maybe your hands are just, they have some grime on them. You might want to wash your hands just so you don't get fingerprints over everything. And also keep that microfiber cloth and glass cleaner to the side. That's going to be very helpful for wiping off your hands if they do get sweaty. Maybe you're getting a little stressed out trying to apply this perfectly. Happens to me. Just something to keep in mind. But let's go ahead and get into application. So I'm going to start by rotating the CX55 around so that the top of the lid is facing me and the Asus branding is upside down. And we're going to start with the lid since that's most readily available here. Now, I also want to point out that on the lid of the CX55, again, we have the Asus branding. There is no cutout for the brand in there. Also, there is no cutout for the Chromebook branding. So these are just small things I wanted to point out. So I'm going to start with the lid portion itself. You can see that we also have this strip here. I'll have to see where that goes once we get the lid on. So I think once we've got this all cleaned off, there's no dust on here. We want to peel slowly on the faux carbon fiber vinyl. Now, before I do that, I'm going to do one quick dust off just to make sure I have no debris on the CX55. There we go. And again, that works really well. So I'm going to peel off just a little corner of the vinyl here. I've learned not to go crazy and do the whole thing because that actually makes a mess. The problem is that if you peel the whole thing off, it might end up sticking to itself, and that's going to make for a horrible install time. So I am finding that this is disappointing because this lid doesn't seem to fit appropriately to this Chromebook. But we have the region here, and I'm still going to cover all of this because that's the idea behind all these videos too, is sometimes things don't work out and I want to showcase them so that you might avoid it if you don't want to run into these issues. But yes, we're going to take a look at the keyboard area. So I'm going to flip open the CX55, and here we have the keyboard area. Hopefully we're going to have a little better luck here. Again, I'm going to start by blowing off the CX55 just to make sure we get rid of any dust, debris, anything like that. So I'm going to start with the portion that outlines the keyboard keys. So here we are with the portion that goes around the keys. And let's see if I can do this without any problems. So the nice thing is you can kind of just lay this down in a sense. And then you can kind of work it around. So I kind of just drop it into place here, and I'm going to start with the bottom portion. It doesn't really matter too much if it sticks here. Yep, so edge to edge, that looks pretty good. But now the moment of truth here, we have to hope that this will work very well here. And there is going to be some space around the hinges there. Okay, then I can press it into place. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty decent. It blends pretty good. So far, this area around the keyboard looking really nice. It's pretty clean looking. I'm actually okay with that. I'm pretty happy with that. So now we're going to have the palm rest area and the trackpad. So we're going to do the trackpad here next. I don't think we're going to have a problem here. I'm going to line this portion right into the trackpad. I love the faux carbon fiber on the trackpad itself. That does look really cool. And if you mess up, you can always peel back off. So it is forgiven. This vinyl is forgiven. It doesn't stick too bad here. I'm going to drop it back into place. I like to try to get things lined up very nice here. So that's looking really good. Perfect fitment here. And the trackpad still works if you're worried about that. And then we can wipe off just a little bit. We also have this portion here while this is drying that I believe goes at the bottom of the display here. Interesting enough, there isn't a portion that wraps around the top of the outside of the display on the side and the top. Again, just that bar there. So I'm going to apply that after we do this keyboard area here. So I'm going to try to line up here around the edges. It's a little tricky to get things straight on. Wow, so keyboard area is actually looking really good. We want to make sure that we get those air bubbles out. So again, you know, you got a little flexibility here. You can peel back. Just don't stretch the film too much. And then as you apply it, just make sure you work those air bubbles out too, and check the vinyl for air bubbles. Also a good idea here, because you want a nice smooth application. You don't want to put all this on just to realize that you have air bubbles underneath. But yeah, this is for the keyboard area. This is actually looking really good. It's very impressive. I like it for the keyboard area. I wish the cutouts were a little bit better at the top, but you know, it does the job. It works really well. Again, we're going to have this top portion, and I believe that's going to apply right under the display here. I'm going to bring the CX55 into view so you can see a little bit clearer. So we have this bottom bezel or chin for the display, and then we have this portion here, and I'm confident that it goes right there. Now, that's an area that I didn't wipe off previously because I didn't know that that actually came with this kit. So I'm going to just wipe off here just with some glass cleaner and a microfiber cloth. So I'm going to apply it. I think we're killing it here. I think we are lined up very well. Wow, that looks really good actually. That is very impressive. I'm liking it. So far I can say that this kit is worth at least the keyboard area. That is great. Now I do wish that we did have wraparound film for the rest of the bezels of the display, but this works really well. So the question is, do I want to return back to the lid? So yes, back to the lid. Wow, I can't stop looking at the keyboard area. Back to the lid. Do I want to do this? It's just that it's short and it doesn't really align with these hinges like all too well. There's going to be a gap here, unfortunately. I also want to see where this portion goes to. I think it might actually go to the top of the display here. So we might have a little bit more on the interior. I'm actually going to go back to that. And what I like about the CX55 is it is a 2-in-1 or a convertible. So you can do this with it. You can flip it right over. And this will actually give us a better view of that top portion that we're talking about. I'm going to use some glass cleaner here. And I'm going to wipe off the top there. Because the reason I believe this top portion goes to that top bezel is we have the cutouts here for the cameras. And we're almost there. We're almost dried. Just got to wait a moment longer. And oh, I wanted to apply a little too fast there for me. So this might be a little trickier. Or not. You know, sometimes you get really lucky here. And that fits really well. No air bubbles there. That was really easy to apply. So far, for the areas that do fit, this applies really well. But again, back to that lid. Back to the lid here. Now, I will say the CX55 is a larger device. So this whole flipping over from tablet mode to laptop mode or laptop mode to tablet mode, it does require a bit of finesse, something to keep in mind. But the lid skin, let's go back to that. So yeah, I'm not too happy about the lid, but I'm gonna apply it just for the video so that you can see what we're working with. Again, just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to apply here. Now I imagine this would go edge to edge. And of course, as I'm making this, I'm fighting the battery on my cameras here, on my Z Fold 6 and my Galaxy S23 Ultra. I'm trying to film this before those run out, because as you can imagine, if I don't beat it, then I'm not going to have the material to show you here. So this is fun to say the least. Nice. So this is the lid, and it looks pretty good on first sight, but the problem here that I don't like that there's this gap here. I don't know why. It just kind of sticks out. I mean, does the lid skin work? Yeah, it does. It does the job. I'm happy with it. I'm content with it, but this could be better. But the inside looks really nice. The inside gives this a nice updated feel, and that looks great. Again, we're not going to have anything for the underside, so if you're looking for protection for the underside, you're going to want to look elsewhere. But yeah, this looks really good otherwise. It does the job. The lid was a little bit of work to apply, as you've seen in the video here. Keyboard area looks phenomenal. And again, we have the bezels. They're somewhat covered, you know, at the top and the bottom. That's looking really good. It gives the CX55 a more high performance feel. But that's it for today's content. I have to say, this is okay. It's not horrible, but it could be better. But if you're looking for protection for your CX55 Chromebook and you want to give it a bit of more of a higher performance feel, this is an option. So that is it for today's content. As always, thanks for watching, and may the universe flow in your favor. And until next time, Leon checking out.
Yeah.